It's good to see everyone again. I hope that everyone's doing well and staying healthy. As we go into day two, what I'd like to do is to frame our time together using a metaphor that I see not only at the root of this summit, but also at or underlying the various experiences that we've all had in our own work and in our work with youth and families. And that's the metaphor of journeying. Howard Zehr, one of the prolific writers and practitioners of work in restorative justice, wrote in 2002 about the notion of journey to belonging. He writes, alienation as well as its opposite, belonging, are central issues for both those who offend and those who are offended against. The journey metaphor suggests that the goal, belonging, requires a search or a process that belonging is not simply binary, you do or you do not, but rather might fall on a continuum. Paradoxically, perhaps the journey to belonging often involves a journey to identity. The two are deeply intertwined. He also notes that the journeys of belonging incorporate journeys of meaning, honor, and respect. So this notion of belonging is also echoed in some of the work by Peter Block, who writes that community provides a sense of belonging, which is characterized or can be characterized by ideals of support, healing, dialogue, and connection. In other words, a key part of our journey is the search for belonging and connection. And what do we know about journeying? If we've ever learned anything from movies like The Lord of the Rings or even our own road trips with kids, we know that journeys take time, sometimes a lot of time. If we never hear the question, are we there yet ever again? I think it will be too soon. We also know that journeys have smooth parts where the grass is green and the road is straight, which I think will resonate for those of you in Western Kansas with lots of straight roads. And there are difficult parts where there are hurdles, traffic, wrong turns, dead ends, and enemies. We know that journeys take energy and require resources for continued progress. We know that journeys are better done with partners who share our goals, and we know that journeys change us and how we give meaning to ourselves, to our relationships, and to our world. And these themes of journeying, identity, and connection and meaning were apparent in our time together on day one, which were captured in the video you just watched as well. Don Kurtz's exploration of narrative, social change, and adolescent identity, Ann Hobbs' description of the Juvenile Justice Institute and the work happening in Nebraska, and Travis Rickford's and Kristen Kremer's description of university community partnership all highlighted those issues. And I think it captured this notion that showing up is an important part of any journey. These themes are going to be apparent today as well as we explore issues of belonging, meaning, and respect, alienation, shame, and loss, and the complex relationships between them through various presentations. Whether it's Sue Williams' discussion of the complex relationships between mentoring and recidivism, or April Terry's and Kristen Kremer's respective discussions of the rural experience related to youth, trauma, and mental health care, we'll get a sense of the complexities, hurdles, and questions that mark the journey involved with juvenile justice and system involvement for youth and their families. Yet journeys are also marked by opportunities for growth through connection, learning, and support. Whether it's through ongoing mentoring relationships, cultural competence training and incentives for rural healthcare, community performing arts schools for music instruction, and the development of effective data systems at the local level, there are steps that both can be taken and have been taken along the journey that can bring us closer together in partnership, that can join youth and adults together in constructive relationships and mutual learning and growth, and that can promote the infusion of resources into areas that desperately need them. So what's more, we'll be building on these themes of showing up and exploring going into our third day story. There we'll be building on the takeaways from day one and day two by learning more about community engagement processes like study circles and celebrating the journeys of youth. So I hope that the talks today provide a nice spark of energy, a lightning flash of inspiration, as it were, for you as you consider what this work looks like in your own settings. This is a journey that we're taking together, and that's a good thing. Because all of us have something to contribute to one another's journeys as we create opportunities for meaning, honor, respect, and community for all. So I hope you enjoy the talks that are happening today, and I look forward to doing those with you throughout today's sessions and the session next week.